coming in.
Man, I'm very happy today. Well, you know what? I'm happy every single time I do these things. Let's not fake it. Like I don't say that every single time I come on here, cause it's true. Especially with the development of it, it's growing. The love is real. I'm starting to get those looks in the stores from people I don't know. Um, you know, that was a feeling I was trying to create when I was a rapper. You know what I mean? And it's all right, but I appreciate it now. And this moment is kind of personal to me. I love this moment. This guy to my right with his son, this is so full circle because when I first met this man, he was very tender, but very intelligent, very smart, but didn't know nothing. Didn't know nothing, but very smart when I first met him. And man, he was like a sponge. It wasn't nothing I could say to him that he didn't absorb. You know what I mean? And I could see him trying to apply the things that I had just say to him. These things don't even be advice. It just be us talking. And I could just tell he would absorb what I'm saying. And over the years, I can see the growth in him. All of it's not on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about me right now since it's my show. But, I mean, for real. That's why I named it Started from the Bottom, because this is exactly where he came from. Like, a lot of people like to say that term, and I really watched him come from that. So, I remember the very first time we drove outside of Atlanta for a show, and I don't know if that was his first experience seeing like Atlanta, but his response to it was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? He was just naive to it. He didn't really understand it. Like, he saw the homeless people on the side of the road. He saw trash, things sprayed over. It didn't look good in the rural part of Atlanta. At that time, a lot of that stuff been cleaned up now. But, it just took him by shock for him to see that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he was smart, but it wasn't a lot he didn't know, at the time. And, he's been digging into educating his brain ever since. And here we are today, and we're going to get into how successful all of that has panned out for him. He got his young son to the side of him, one of three.
Baby Teretino.
Okay. He's on the new single that just been released, Locked In. Y'all go check that out. It's on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? For real. And this podcast is brought to you by The Scrimmage Line, a place where you can go and relax, see your friends, have a couple of nice smooth drinks, maybe some food, watch some sports, bask in the ambience of black excellence. Scrimmage Lounge. It's on Belter Street. Go up there and have a good time. They sponsor us, so we get to come on here and talk good to y'all people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without further ado, to my right, we want to go with government names. We're just gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it image name.
We're going to keep it image. We're going to keep it.
Drew Teretino to my right. All right, this is like what the second or third name. You just kind of reinvented yourself through the years.
Actually, the fourth, yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's good. Artists, if you out there, sometimes you have to reinvent yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? To see if it cross over. 2 Chainz wasn't always 2 Chainz.
Right.
So
because being younger, that's a character from somebody else's perspective. Then you start growing into who you are. And that's when you finally find it.
Speaking of growing, where did you grow up at, and what was the time setting of this?
I'm gonna say I grew up down 19, but I don't remember none of that. After that, I moved downtown. I don't remember that. So by the time I could really remember, in the village, Tryon Village.
How old would you say?
7.
7. So that's probably when strong memories start to kick in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for most of us, there's some brilliant kids that start remembering early, but I know for me, I don't remember age 6 down. Too good.
But actually, coming from the village, it permanent scars, so you have no choice but to remember. Everything is like it's stamped, implanted in you.
Permanent scars. Talk about that. Was your father in your life, and if yes or no, how did that impact you?
Nah, he wasn't in my life, but I used to be young minded and blame that on a lot until like I realized it's not your dad should be in your life, but long as you got some type of father figure that'll lead you in the right direction. Sure, sometimes it dawns in the back of your head what was wrong with me, and then as you grow up, you figure like you never know what he was going through. I ain't blaming him now because I feel like it made me who I am today.
Right. I mean, I think we all do go through those situations with our father, whether he's in our life strongly or very little. It does have an impact, but for me, I just didn't grow up in the kind of neighborhood where I could make a mistake and fall into trouble.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I never really gave my dad a chance to respond to something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't grow up in it, but I do know it had I know how easy it would have been because I'm just I was a bright kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I and I used to hate growing up how I did because it was hardly nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I look back at it now and I feel good about it because it kept me out of a lot of stuff.
Right.
But you can't say the same. But let me ask you this: sports, music, and street life. Which one has your attention the most? Which one did you just didn't have a chance at?
Music has my attention the most.
When you was younger?
Right.
Right.
Because it just gave you a feeling. So whether the music my mama used to play when I was young, it just used to stick to you. So I didn't really know about doing music or about music, but what I did know is music gave you a feeling. No matter what was going on, it gave you a feeling.
Yeah.
If I had a chance to go back and do something that I want to do, it'd most definitely be sports. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I could play sports, but didn't know how to play sport. The difference is, I wish my father would have been there and picked up that ball with me, gave me the mental discipline to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like coming from the village, you going to play sports anyway, but you had the attitude like, man, I ain't standing there. Yeah, I'm going to go do something there.
Right. Yeah. What I'm saying is, when exactly did it spark for you? I want to try this. I want to try to. You know what I'm saying? Because when artists come out and they talk about their parents as you just did and what they're listening to, it's a lot of old school tunes, and them tunes do give you feelings. But these artists still wind up in a different genre. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So how did you know what genre you wanted to get in, like rapping?
I didn't know it first. I just always wanted to keep it. I don't want to use the word street, but it's street. It's like basically you
I mean,
expressing what's
let's just go ahead and put it out there. You grew up in the village, okay, at the age of 7. I'm pretty sure this time frame was like late 90s.
Right, red coats in the yard.
Anybody who know anything about the village know what was happening back then.
Right.
Okay. So you saw it.
Right.
It was right in your face.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of kids wind up not pursuing sports or wind up not even pursuing anything other than what they see. We call that a product of the environment. Now, a lot of people grow out of that.
Right.
Some people don't.
I look at it as I didn't really have a choice. So when you put it like that, yeah, because I was really into sports. I was into how can I get this to get that. So I don't want to really do this, but around that time, that's all you know to do. Because people weren't giving kids from the village a little job unless you work for Mr. Calvin.
Yeah.
But other than that, you had to just do what you had to do because you really seen your parent go through it. You really knew like
Your friends, their
right.
parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your family members, your cousins.
Cause we were to the point where like growing up, like your mama might cook today, so we eat with you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow my mama might cook. I'm gonna make sure you eat.
Yeah.
That's just how it go.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything to complain about.
And that's a sharing nature I would see from kids at school who grew up in areas like that, and specifically the village. It was something that I noticed that sharing was already agreeably known.
Right.
But you see what I'm saying? And a lot of times that would rub people the wrong way who didn't understand that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When somebody just come ask you, yo, can I have that off your tray? And you be like, no.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You don't have that sharing demeanor. You're not
yeah.
you see what I'm saying? You're not taught that. So that's a beautiful thing. Like once I realized that, I stopped getting upset with it. You know what I'm saying? And I just like I see what's going on.
But you see the up and down barrier there, like growing up without it and kind of feeling like you missed out on something. And growing up around it, and it should depend on your circumstances. Now.
So run-ins with the law is something very common back then, especially in that neighborhood. So I know you had your fair share of that. What was the learning curve that took place during these situations?
You ain't got nobody but you. Loyalty only lies within you. Everybody trying to save themselves. So no matter how much we having fun and doing this and I love you here and there, when it really boils down to it, everybody gonna save themselves. So my learning experience from that was taking everybody else's mistakes and just you know how they gonna go if you do that. Cause I don't see every aspect of everything, even if I went through it or just seen it.
Yeah. Who are some people who inspired you to get into the music of rapping? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you start off freestyling or you always was a writer?
It's weird. It's weird. My cousin Ralph Problems, he used to write poetry. So at the time, he's 15, I'm 5. So he used to
15 years old writing poetry.
Right. So I used to get his notebooks from under the bed. Like he had shoe boxes. I mean, a lot of shoe boxes of poetry and just raps that he had. And what I used to do is remember that. Keep in mind, I'm 5. So I'm remembering what this man saying, and I'm going to school in kindergarten. Me and Jake the Snake, my boy, NCF for life. I used to rap every day. So by the time I was in kindergarten, everybody thought I was 5. Cause how you coming up with it? I ain't got to tell y'all nothing, cause you don't know 'em.
So like, when you had your very first show, was you nervous?
Right. Yeah, super nervous. Going to the studio for the first time, I was nervous. Shout out Tim Timberland.
Oh man.
Yeah, he had wrote me a song. It was called "In the Ghetto Where We Stay." It was
now hold on. Let's just take a second to highlight Tim Bland for a minute.
Right.
You know, because this brother, you know, he's like swept under the rug.
Right.
And when it comes to local music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just salute Tim Bland.
Yeah.
We taking your name off under that rug.
Dirty
man.
Red.
Dirty Red.
Dirty
you know
Red.
what I'm saying? He was doing skits before TikTok.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before Facebook, before YouTube came out, Tim Bland had the skits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was super creative. He was like probably like the only somebody we knew with engineering experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And dealt with over 20 people a day. And the kind of people he had to deal with.
Yeah,
Salute you
let's
again,
let's give this man his flowers right here, right now, because you know a lot of talk going on around town about music, and you know
Name never get brought up.
always kind of get swept on the rug a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna take that moment. But as you were saying, you know, the first time in the studio, you was nervous,
right? Cause I used to be the black kid with the nappy head and the Crocs and the basketball short and the tank top and just running around rapping. Everybody, oh, there you go, Andrew, come rap. So you got a circle full of people, so that I already feel good. Oh. So by the time you get the progressive, it's about normal.
Do you remember your first show? I think I do.
In the village? Nah, it was probably in the village at the block party. When the village had a block party, me, C4, and Bro Man, we was up there freestyling. But you meaning like my own show, like I'm headlining.
Not necessarily headlining, like your name is on the ticket of the promotions. This image, this character is going to be at this place, this night, that kind of show.
Right. I really don't.
I remember then.
For real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was at the American Legion. Yeah, DJ Smooth, you know, he asked me, did I have he asked me did I have a set show, like, you know, put together, and I was like, yeah. You know, we had went on a little run, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about that real quick. Right. All right? That whole thing, all right?
I remember that.
Yeah. So when we first met, it was connection by a guy named Night Vision.
Right.
All right.
Shout out JB.
Yeah, shout out to Night Vision.
Night Vision.
It was a connection for him. He was trying to mold a young kid, Andrews at the time. He saw something in him, and I was in and out with the group that I was in. What I mean by in and out is I was just working harder than they was. You know, that's all it was. I was just working harder than they was, and maybe I just had more freedom to do it than they did. I don't know, but that's just the way it was set up. And through Night Vision, he decided to come up with the concept to a song, and he and I recorded. So we went over to this designated place. I think it was
Darnell.
We went over there. We came up with the concept. We came up with the hook. And we laid it like two freaking professionals. We had just met each other. Right? He was a kid. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? So right at this point in time, I was in the middle of making a transition of moving studio equipment into my place so that I could do this recording myself. And it was Andrew and Gusto Ellaby at the time who was just always with me.
Shout out my boy Gus too.
Shout out to Gusto. He was always with me. And we just started recording every freaking day.
Right.
And we had a guy named Dub 5000s.
The GOAT. Everybody knows.
He was the new engineer. He was still in high school. Okay. I think he was like a junior. He wasn't even a senior, man. This dude was like a freaking genius. With the computer, man, and his mixing and stuff. He was just like, so we would record at my house, and we have all these songs, and we would take the files over to Dub 5000s, and we would pay him to mix them, and then we just had all these mixed songs, and we just started putting projects together. We started getting attention, you know. Of course, Smooth always trying to push talent the best he can, even though he kind of get a lot of ridicule on the back end, but he always giving his best efforts, and which he did, and that's how we got to this show. And brother, let me tell you, that show lit up the building. Okay? I had been already doing shows myself and never had got a reaction from a crowd the way you got a reaction this night, man. It was awesome. I knew from then on, I'm like, you know what? We finna do this for real. You know what I'm saying? We finna do this for real. And we went at it
You know the crazy part about that? You just made me remember. I blacked out. I ain't see nobody in front of me after it, like the beat came on. I ain't see nothing.
Well, that's when you know you performing.
Right.
That's when you know you performing. I done did that plenty of time. Like the flew out the stage. I remember World grabbed back of my shirt one time, kept me from going off that joker. What had happened was, you know it's crazy when people say what had happened.
Right.
World had gave me a lot of drinks backstage because I was super nervous. And he was like, "Hell, man, drink. It'll help you with your nerve."
Was that your first show?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But it was just the first show in Thomaston for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was at a place called the Ponderosa. Matter of fact, it's a liquor store now.
I've never been there.
Behind Dairy Queen, it's a liquor store now, but it was called the Ponderosa back then. And matter of fact, Shawty Low, R.I.P. Shawty Low, he was the headliner that night. We was opening up for him, and I was nervous. I was nervous for a lot of reasons. It was my first show in Thomaston. It was a lot of people there. It was my first show with a lot of people there. Because my first 2 or 3 shows, it was like, the first show was like 3 people in the crowd. The second show might have been like 12. And the third show, all out of time now, was like nothing but kids.
Right.
I'm like 30 years old. It ain't nothing but kids. I have 15. Cause the what's the guy who did the song with Brody?
Which one?
It's cool. It's school.
Schooling.
Okay. They little group. They was hot back then.
Rich kids.
Right. So we was opening up for them. Okay. So that was my first crowd, but it was nothing but children. Right. They straight dissed the song. Yeah, they straight dissed the song. They said the song sucked, but they said we was cute. Right. And we was dressed nice. That was all we got. Right. So my first show in Thomaston was a crowd of Thomaston people, and I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to be a character out of town.
Right.
And now I gotta be this character in front of people who already
know you.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I was nervous, and World was feeding me them drinks, and I was sucking them things down, man. I'm like, give me some more.
You was on white or brown?
I don't remember. It didn't matter. I was just drinking. And by the time our show came, I went in, man, and I was just wilding. I almost flew off stage. World caught me. Yeah. So I do remember that. But your first show, it was magic, man. It was magic. I knew we was finna do some stuff, man. My car, that was our tour vehicle.
Right.
We would always pack up in that joker. I had tour rules. I ain't gonna tell y'all what the rules are, but everybody who been in that car know what the rules are. Right. But we had rules. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about some arguments on the way there and on the way back. But
oh yeah.
And you be wondering how some groups wind up at each other's throat over the years. You know, you just be around each other every day like that. We was around each other a lot, man. Right. And we really did get on each other's nerves. I will say that.
They got me out of learning how to, go back at people instead of get mad.
Yeah.
So the conversations in that car had you. Just put me out right here. I'm gonna walk back to Thomaston. Look.
Yeah, because for one, World is like a comedy genius.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so am I. But it was like something personal with you and Gusto outside of the joke.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it was just competitive spirit.
Right.
That's all it was.
And it was like he was my big brother. You know how big.
That's all it was.
You know how it go.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to ask you this. All right. Behind what we did, and you decided that you wanted to be your own independent artist and start your own independent company and movement. When did you know you really finna go at it?
After it's saying, like, to be honest, it was over with you. Like, after Ty.
Basically, when I retired.
Right. After you retired, it was over with. But I was so passionate about it and had seen you do so much that I thought it was easy. The biggest headache ever. Cause once you start that, it's like you really completely stop rapping. Cause you got to make sure everything in order. So I'd rather be an artist.
Yeah.
Just an artist.
Yeah. I mean, but at least you know now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now you can't be jerked around when business
Right.
is you know what I'm saying, about to arise as it should in the
Right.
future for you. But it's good to know you know your way around the studio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't all my own credit to me neither, because you wind up learning more about stuff than I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at least you know your way around the studio. A lot of people can't say that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't go in the studio by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Some people
Right.
need somebody to go in there with them.
Right.
But
But that was the lesson you taught her too, how to survive on your own. Cause I ain't gonna always, you know,
yeah.
everybody gotta fly. Just grow
Well,
you some wings.
let's have a little fun for a few minutes. I got this game I like to play called Say Something Nice. Now let me describe to y'all what Say Something Nice stemmed from, okay? You know this old cliche saying that your mama used to say back in the day, if you can't say nothing nice about somebody,
Don't say it at all.
don't say it at all. So that's when I came up with this idea. I'm gonna start finding things that people don't like or that the world don't like, and it's challenging to see if you can say something nice about it. Some of it ain't that kind of stuff. Some of it is just something to kind of make you laugh. But let's get into it, man. Let's start with the first picture. Since you is a rapper, we're gonna base most of the say something nice around your criteria of work.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you know who this is.
Right.
Say something nice. If you can.
He got good bodyguards around.
do you know who that is? You don't want to know who that is.
You want your hair like that?
You like that hair?
Like that?
You like that? Yeah. So,
you got good bodyguards around.
All right, we're saying something nice. If he was a female, that would probably be cute. That's all I got, man.
What the hell?
Just everything. Everything about him. That look on his face.
Right.
This particular shirt.
Okay.
The hairstyle with the split down the middle and the diamond in the earlobe.
Okay.
Yeah, if he was a female, you know, I would think that would be cute.
Right.
If I can, you know what? Let's just move on. We ain't always been successful with saying stuff nice, as long as we ain't say nothing bad. All right. What we got here? All right. Now let me describe something about this picture before you say something nice about it. Okay. I just want you to work on the idea of what you can say nice about it. Hip hop, rap, it all stemmed from the mid 70s. Where James Brown and some other artists would do this thing they call vamping. Right. Well, basically you just talking over the beat. Right. You see what I'm saying? And then comes the hip hop culture, the style, the way they dressed, the dances, the graffiti, the art. Right. All this was a combination of what hip hop was, and it was being born in the 80s, the early 80s. And it was you know, blowing up. Right. But it was brand new, and it was like being pushed away by as many people who didn't like it. You see what I'm saying? Right. All right, so the dancing, the way they dressed, the music. Right. This is a perfect representation of what hip hop looked it like. Right. In the beginning of hip hop. Right. Okay. This is the attire.
So were they just talking over beat or?
None of these guys rap. They are the dancing part of the hip hop culture. Okay. It was called breakdancing. Okay. They like really good breakdancers. And what they finna do right now is they finna have a breakdance fight against another gang who they're looking at right now. Okay. Okay. So gang banging sometimes was what this is. Like, it wasn't shooting. It was, we finna meet up somewhere and, like, literally dance fight.
Right.
Granted, some of them dance fights actually turned into fights. But that was the competitive nature of these brothers. That's the competitive nature of hip hop.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So with all that said, say something nice about these brothers' outfits.
They got on all black. They got some type of black on it. It's just color coordinated. I like how they came as a group.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I know we said something nice.
Right.
But I'm gonna just say something real quick. I don't like it when dudes bust down their shirt and they got taco meat right there.
That's the first thing I tried to overlook.
Alright, cool. But let's get back to saying something. Alright, you know what? This dude got handcuffs on his belt buckle. I don't really know what he's trying to say.
That was on the table.
But you see they got the... You know what, man?
$1 million mugs, though.
This is from one of my favorite movies. This is come from a movie called Breaking. These brothers can dance. Right. This dude here named Ozone. That cat there's named Turbo. And this is the second movie. In the first movie, they was into it with these guys. And the guy standing behind. Yeah, I love this movie, man.
So they must have went to
But this is hip hop. This is the birth of hip hop.
They would break dance
This
so
brother
bad on them. They
yeah,
them.
Man, this man got all kind of stuff going on.
Right.
He look like he finna march in a band.
That Julio Jones, ain't it? Oh, I thought that was Julio.
Nah, that's Turbo, man. Okay. That's a legend. Who looks exactly like Julio Jones. That's very good. That's very good you caught that. Oh, yeah.
That's the night.
That's the night.
Yeah. I told you I blacked out. You can see it. He gone.
But you was rocking that crowd, man. You was rocking that crowd, dog.
Right.
Yeah. What do you want to tell that dude right now? If he come in this room right now, what you want to tell him?
Keep going. Stay focused. Stay determined. Stay hungry.
That dude wrote a song called Stay Focused.
Yeah, you gotta stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's just do this one just for Pete's sake.
Oh, you went in.
Come on, man. You gotta say something nice, bro.
Something nice. That smile. Just the fact I ain't missing no teeth. Everything perfect. That about it. Boy.
Is that a jersey?
Yeah, it got it. Matter of fact, that jersey stuck to that shirt. So it ain't like you put the shirt and then put the jersey on. That's a one-piece jersey suit. Yeah, number 5. I remember.
Okay.
You know what's so crazy? I was riding a bike right now. That's where that dent come from.
It's in a dent.
Yeah, and then the scar line is out of my face. Cut my face, so yeah, them memory right there. And I was a little light so you can see them. They gone, huh? They don't disappear.
It's all good. Hey, man, I got those. I'm going to show some of mine on here one day. I mean, but you go on my Facebook page and see mine.
I ain't seen that picture in a minute. How you get that picture, Chris?
How you think? Same way I got the other one.
Good.
Yeah, I do my homework, man. I try to make these episodes good, man. People been talking about they watching. I want to make sure they entertain. You know what I'm saying?
I'm entertained. Good.
Yeah. All right. Let me make sure it don't change, because it will. Okay. We're still in fun mode. So I'm finna just ask you some crazy questions. Dig it? All right. You have a chance to win $250,000 with the choice of 2 events. Pick one.
Right.
Okay? You push your mama down a flight of 10 steps. Or you bite and swallow a shit sandwich 3 times. Do I need to repeat?
Mm-mm. They gonna have to call me shit, man. 250,000. I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, 3 times.
So pushing your mama down some steps is
that
just
ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
No amount of money.
What if you get 250 per event?
250 per event. Or doing what? Pushing my mama down the steps?
Either or. You just do both. You get 250 on either one.
Nah. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Now the
So
sandwich,
you just still going with the sandwich?
yeah, the sandwich. Sound pretty good for
I'm
250.
gonna have to start keeping score, man, when I ask these questions. This ain't the first time I asked this question. Yeah, so you going with the sandwich. You know what? Everybody know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be 500,000 strong at the end of the day.
Oh man.
Cause my mom gonna be upset when she find out I didn't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then she gonna try to convince the people to give us a second chance.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But it gonna take that amount of money and medical expenses, right? Oh man.
No.
I understand.
Yeah. See, I would give the secret away, but I don't wanna make it easy for people to make the decision. You see what I'm saying? Because I know I push my mama down the flight of stairs, but I make sure however she go down them stairs.
Oh, see you there. See, I answered too quick.
No, that's just the nature of the question.
Right.
You don't present that in your mind. You just wondering, would I do that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because some people's mama would kill them if they even push them towards some steps. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, my mama would kill me if she find out I didn't push her down the steps.
Right.
Because she like that money.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? My mama been living life hard anyway. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? She a roughneck, okay? My mama tough. All right. So to save your life, you got to give up one out of three things. Okay? Your eyes as a unit, both of them. Your hands as a unit, both of them. Or your wanker. You got to give one of them up. But this is your life you got to save. Which one do you think you can live the rest of your life without?
So what I'm getting out of there? Nothing.
Your life.
My life. Okay.
They finna take you out. And you get a chance to stay here if you give up one of these things. And these are finite things. You can't get them back.
Right.
They're super important to your life. But you got to give one of them up just to stay alive. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't go out because I still got stuff to do. See?
You got 3 already.
Right. Man. I'm going to let my man. They can have the eye. I can't see that. It'll be all right. I can figure out a way to feel what I'm trying to see. But
It is true that if you all of a sudden you can't see no more,
right.
Your sense of touch, smell, and hearing, taste, all of that is going to elevate to a point where it's almost like you can see it.
Right.
But you still can't see it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
We're definitely going with the eye.
Going with the eye?
Glass is going to keep me in the game.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, at least you got your hands, and you know you ain't going to never be able to see who you with no more.
Right.
At least you still got your hands. You can.
Hopefully,
you probably can't see yourself right. Maybe you might have to learn Braille.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know. But yeah, man. My hands are what I use to create. My eyes is how I see it to create. Whether it's imagination and I think I don't have enough sex to go with that. I'm like 41.
So hold on, what you getting rid of?
I gotta have my hands in my eyes, man. I gotta have my hands in my eyes.
But I'm saying your stress level gonna be through the roof.
No, because it ain't like I'm just out here cutting the food now anyway.
Right, but every now and then, life
there
is
was
long.
a time where I could cut the food. I'll cut the food, but now other things have my attention and my time consuming, and I'm just not able to do these things no more. So I'm as of now, I'm in a stage of trying to learn how to not even want it.
Right. You a strong brother.
And I'm so far from success there.
Right. I knew that now. Hold on.
But since I'm not having any success actually doing it, I ain't got no choice but to try to learn how to go without it, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So you'll get rid of it.
I gotta have my hands and my eyes, man. They are so important. My I observe everything without even trying, bro. With my eyes.
Right.
And it helps my photographic memory in my mind when I'm creating.
Right.
So without my eyes, man, or my hands, I'm really useless. I just got a wanker. And I ain't making no money with it.
Right.
You see what I'm
Hey,
saying?
they got the only fan, right?
Unless y'all want to pay for some, y'all let me know. Outside of that, I need my hands and my eyes, man. That's how I create. That's how I develop.
But man.
Yeah. All right. In your opinion, just your opinion, okay? Do you think it's okay for your significant other to have a best friend of the opposite sex?
Mm-mm. My man said it.
Man, you didn't even let me get through asking the question.
He know what's going on.
You what?
No.
It's too early for you to be that possessive, bro. Already? It's a hard no.
Right.
No best friends of the opposite sex. Okay, so the next thing I ain't even gotta ask that because you just signed straight off of why your significant other can't have a best friend of the opposite sex?
Because if she my significant other, I'm my best friend. So anything she can confide in another man, that's what I'm there for. What I'm there for, if another man, you can run to another man for comfort.
But that idea is
It just depends.
That idea is a little shallow.
I'm gonna say it depends. Now, if you come with already a best friend, then it'll be hard to control you and tell you what you can't have. But
I'm just saying, like, even with that perspective, like you already come with the best friend, like you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
How you guys would be cool with it.
Yeah, you cool with it then. You cool with
Why
it.
Why ain't
then?
you cool with it?
Nah. Yeah. What could be said to make him more of a friend than me?
Here's what I'm gonna say to that.
You gotta be comfortable with somebody for y'all to be friends.
Here's
Our boy best friend?
It doesn't matter. Like,
right.
Here's what I'm gonna say to that. No matter how much we as men or women think that we can be all and everything to our significant other is ludicrous.
Right.
We want to.
Right.
And boy, will we try to. But we still wind up not being successful.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Which causes frustration.
Right.
Because once you and your significant other bump heads to the point where, you're not understanding each other.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes your best friend, from a male's perspective, can tell you something to help you understand what your boyfriend is saying. Or sometimes as a male, your female best friend can tell you something that you don't understand about your girlfriend.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. But you grew up with male cousins, so that same thing can happen with the male cousins.
It don't always be like that sometimes, man. I'm just saying, sometimes we just can't be everything to our significant other, no matter how much we want to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes another person can be healthy to the growth of your relationship, because only one or two things gonna happen, and it's a win-win.
Right.
Your best friend either gonna propel you closer to your significant other, or they're gonna help you decide that significant other ain't who you need to have.
But hold on, let's clear this up. My significant other is only my wife.
Okay, so no girlfriend.
No.
So
because you have no, besides feeling, you don't got no. It's just feeling there. So you don't never wanna not be tied to a person that have any kind of control. If that makes sense. You want to be free until you ain't no more. So my significant other would only be my wife.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this and close that off and go on to something else. If you are, sure and secure and confident of self,
Almost definitely.
then ain't nothing nobody else over here can do to stop you from wanting me.
Right.
You might drift off every now and then, whatever you gotta do, but long as you understand everything here is pure, that's all I know.
Right.
Because I do know that women choose.
Right.
Not saying men don't, I'm just saying women do a lot more. Like, we don't really choose. We just do stuff because the opportunity presents itself. You know what I'm saying? In most cases. So, women usually just choose a guy for whatever specific reason it is. It could be any reason, or it could have more than one reason, whatever it is they choose, right? So, what I do is I develop myself as a choice.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? As long as I'm a choice, have as many friends as you like. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because at some point you're gonna realize they ain't Chris. It's only one. But I ain't perfect. And I might not be able to meet what you looking for sometime. Maybe somebody else can.
So is it okay? So if you're married with your wife, are you cool with me being, say you don't know me, you cool with me being her best friend?
Yeah.
For real?
She my wife. You the best friend.
Right. Okay.
Unless you her husband too.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
so when
I got
she
papers
just,
on that, bro.
we out just going through at 2 a.m, she could just run to her best friend.
Yo, my wife's happiness is not my responsibility.
Most definitely. Right.
It's hers.
Right.
If I ain't making her happy, somebody better.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna punch her in her mouth.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Makes sense. I'm with you.
Somebody gonna have to make her.
I'm with you.
Cause I wish I could be her everything. And if I do be somebody everything one day and you don't need nobody else, then fine. But if you got to go somewhere and do something to make you realize I'm really where you supposed to be, then go do that. Cause it got to work both ways.
You right.
See what I'm saying? You can't dish it if you can't take it. Get what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm a people person. People like me, and I ain't gonna be able to stop that.
Right.
So things gonna happen, and we just got rolled to punch him. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I still, but I understand where you coming from. You made it sound more clear.
So I don't even want to ask you this next question.
Go ahead.
No, that's good. We ain't gonna ask that. We'll go on to the next one. When you hear the term or the phrase "a real one," what is your definition of what that is?
A real one. Somebody who just truthful within who they are. Yeah, they would have brought out to I don't want to disperse it as if you're loyal to him. No, whatever you is to you, that make you a real.
Truthful, honest.
Right.
The Holy Ghost.
Right.
That's a real one.
And all that started in the mirror.
Right? And I asked this question because in the rap business, a real one with the tag in word is always thrown around, right? But that is always incorporated to the street version of what that is. You see what I'm saying? And it's very irritating to me.
It is.
Because I feel like I'm the realist. But I did not come from the streets at all. I had to learn about that in my 20s. You see what I'm saying? I was very naive to street-oriented things.
Right.
How dealers made their money. How did doers do the drugs. Like, I was naive to that stuff. My first time seeing somebody do drugs, man, it blew my head off.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I feel like I'm a realist. You You know what I mean? But and I don't want to be feeling like I gotta be from the streets and to be, you know what I'm
Cause
saying?
you don't.
Because in the
You
street
don't.
world, the version of who I am would be considered a lame
Not
or
necessarily.
square.
Depends on who you ask.
I already know who that is.
Depends on
We
who
know the
you ask.
statistics on that. Right. I'm
Right.
just saying. I asked that question because I feel like I'm the realest. You know, because I tell the truth. I'm honest.
Right.
Like, even when it cuts you. You know what I'm saying? I still tell it to you. Becoming a father. Were you ready? How did it change your life for the better or the worse?
It changed my life for the better because it made me realize I'm no longer living for me. I gotta take care of these people, whether I wake up the next day and I ain't got a pot to piss in and one to throw it out. You still gotta make something happen. Mm-hmm. It don't come with excuses. It being the worst, it ain't no word part about being a parent. Besides when they get on my nerve and I gotta, you know.
So, like, what the first time, like, was it a scary moment? Like super nervous? What do I do? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared I might mess this up.
Nah, not the first time because I was just over excited to be a father to a little girl, but finding out she wasn't mine. Like I was young, I was a child, but you know that destroyed me. So when I finally did have one, I was nervous because I understood what it took, and it take a lot of work. This ain't just you having no baby and brag about you got one. You gotta actually. I'm nervous. What I'm gonna do? Like even just having a job ain't enough. You gotta have the accessory that come with it. Mm-hmm. You know.
Mm-hmm. So like I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people salute me for my activity with my kids and how I be with them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say they look up to me on how I do with my kids and make them want to be like that. Was that something? Was that so? Cause you watch me every day. You was literally in my house like all the time, so you saw me. You know what I'm saying? And I would just like you brought him, I would bring mine around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But you don't understand. Like I seen you grow through more than just having your kids. I seen you having the balance, having a team, being artists, having to be a father, having to be a boyfriend, having to still be a friend to people, and it's like
and a job,
and that's an everyday job.
Yeah.
People getting their hair cut, and they, you know, that's a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
But seeing you manage it and being young make me like how a kid look up to somebody like they Superman. It's that like, wow, is it that easy? Knowing it's not that easy, but you just smiling at us. But deep down, if we were old enough to understand, you were going through so much, but still helping us. So that's what I try to have my boys around. Like no matter what I'm doing, the music, he gravitated to it. I didn't force it on him.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I noticed, you know, the history, you know, he just started repeating it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it just kinda happened, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I get that. It definitely drive you want to go a little harder on the music?
Right.
I mean, I know in the process of having them, it kind of make you pull back and take a break.
Right.
But after like getting them here and moving around and able to walk on their own, you know, you kind of jump back in the
right. Because now you got more to speak about. Mm-hmm. Now you done kind of seen life a little bit. Now you done kind of went through some things. Which,
you know, created life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And really had to deal with it, not just know every other weekend. Now you getting phone call when you're doing good.
Yeah.
You're like, man, that ain't enough. Ain't that enough.
Yeah.
Nah, kind of exciting sometimes.
Nah, it's a beautiful thing, man, watching you do it. Watching you learn the business. Apply it. Actually apply it. Everybody can't post a song in their stories. A lot of people got local songs that they don't drop, but everybody can't, you know, tag the song in their stories on their social media.
Right.
I was never able to do that for y'all. You see what I'm saying? You was
Right.
able to, you learned all that, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that just, it's a beautiful thing. I just been watching you grow, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I just love it. But what do we have to look forward to in the future for Drew? Anything that you can share with us that's not too exclusive?
Hey, I got a lot in store. I'm finna drop some real soon, timeless. I'm currently working on getting Head First solo single out, which gonna be off top. Yeah, I already know it by heart, so you know they're gonna be beautiful. But I
Do
got
you write it, or do he incorporate some of his opinion on what he want to say?
we actually just play a beat, right? And he finds his own melody. So once he finds his own melody, rapping kind of like that, we kind of sit down together and put words with it.
That's what's up.
So he got his own style. I can't. He the one made on the song for real. He the one kind of made it harmonize, made her do that. Cause at first I was rapping like straight rapping, but he like, nah, that don't really sound good. Let's do it like this. And I'm like, okay. So we went with it, and it turned into what it turned into.
It's crazy. It's crazy because all morning when I was putting this program together, I was watching a lot of Michael Jackson stuff on YouTube, and he had won a Grammy in 1993. It was presented by his sister Janet Jackson. And when he came on stage, you know, he kind of alluded to how hard it was for him not having a childhood.
Right.
He jumped out in the music business super early. Right? But that's just only because he had it early.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He might have that it. You know what I'm saying? He just might have that it. Yeah. You can't. And you on this.
What's your next song you drop? What it called? You ain't gonna give it to him. We're gonna keep it a surprise.
That's all right. I had my son and his friend on here. They was shy.
You say what?
We gonna get it to him when we get it.
We're gonna get it to him when we get it. Okay. I don't know if that's the name of it, but I just go ahead and try to memorize that. We're gonna get it to him when we get it.
No, he telling them that when they go get it.
I don't care. I just talking about it. I just came up with the hook. We gonna get it to him when we get it. We gonna get it to him when we get it. What? Get it to him when we get it.
Yeah. We gonna get it to him when we get it. That what's up.
That what's up. But man, I appreciate y'all coming.
Yes, sir.
It was a beautiful, man.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate y'all for watching.
Yes.
Keep talking about the show to your friends. Share these videos, man. I'm trying to invite as many people as I can. A lot of people ask me, can they come? Trust me, I do have a list. I'm going to be calling you jokers in a minute.
And I want to tell the local artists, the people that's in my surrounding where everybody raps and just wait till somebody drops something and then inbox like, we got to do something. Progression only works out working. Like, people got to see you working. And that's like a magnet to gravitating to you. So then people will come to you. But other than that, keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about nobody else's opinion. And just keep shining for you. They gonna see you, baby. They gonna see you.
That's what's up. That sound like somebody that I know. I don't know where that come from, but it sound like somebody I know. Appreciate y'all watching.
Yeah. Drew
Stay tuned for the next one.
Baby Teretino. Chris, I appreciate you for having
all
that.
the time, man.
Y'all be good.
All the time. We out of this.